What's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about Marvin Bagley III and what his development, what his potential is going to be. First, I want to say, all Piston fans who saw my last video, I did say some things about Marvin Bagley. I thought retrospectively, let's make a video thinking everything great about him and what I believe he could become. So I want to hear your thoughts down below. If you're a Detroit Pistons fan, if you haven't seen my content before, if you have, what do you think of Marvin Bagley III? I have a good comparison, or at least I think a comparison that he could become a bigger version of somebody. And that somebody is Paul Millsap. Paul Millsap, you'll be like, he's 6'7", 257 pounds. Yeah. But if you look at Paul Millsap's style of play, especially when he came in, I'll throw the stats up there. Paul Millsap, 6'7" with a 7'2" wingspan of 257. And that was basically where he was at during the measurements of his combine and what he's currently at. Marvin Bagley, 6'10" with a 7'1" wingspan, and he's about 240. And I really think if you put up Paul Millsap's stats, Paul Millsap, his first few years, he went really, I think if you look, it took him till year 5 to get everything together. And I think personally, Marvin Bagley could be a taller version of Paul Millsap. I truly believe this is a guy who can come out and at least have career averages of, being a 14 points per game scorer with a block a game, almost 1.5 steals a game, while dishing out maybe 2 assists and grabbing like 7 rebounds a game, while being able to shoot 34% from 3 and hit like 48 to 49 to 50% of his shots from the field while playing like 30 minutes a night. Okay, at the very least, I think that is the floor for Marvin Bagley. If the Detroit Pistons develop him right, this guy could be an 18 to 20 point scorer who grabs basically 9 to 10 rebounds a game while getting like maybe like 2 steals and, not 2 steals, but like 1.5 steals and 1.5 blocks a game, being a guy who's a menace on the defensive side by using his wingspan to clog up the passing lanes and to protect the rim, while being able to be versatile enough to switch between, because he's a power forward, switch from being a power forward to guarding big mans to guarding wings, because he has the athleticism to do that, and he continues to put on weight, maybe get up to 250. He'll have the strength to go and play small ball 5 and sometimes have lineups with, especially with Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes, Saddiq Bey, and Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart at the center position, Marvin Bagley, Saddiq Bey, and then, because Jeremy Grant, obviously he's here right now, but how long forever? And this, obviously, you could say Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, Jeremy Grant, Saddiq Bey, and Cade Cunningham, and then Killian Hayes, the 6th man. There's a lot of talent on this young team, but Marvin Bagley, what he gives you is, I think he could be kind of like a John Collins, Paul Millsap mix, because John Collins also has shown his ability, and you could argue that John Collins is more of a prototypical modern day prototypical power forward, because right now they don't call them small forwards anymore. They call them wings and forwards. Forwards are more your power forwards, and John Collins is your more prototypical forward, being 6'9", and I don't even know what his wingspan is, but I think he's 6'11" wingspan, so he's a little smaller. So basically, Marvin Bagley could be a lankier John Collins-esque player while also being, kind of like a Paul Millsap, where Paul Millsap is the guy who's able to do everything. And I think this is something they should do. Now, let's talk about what the extension would look like. Detroit obviously took a flyer with Marvin Bagley and has an eye for a future, okay? He's 22 years old and still flashes high in talent, and he's been wildly inconsistent and needs some improvement in his game, which we've talked about. But it was such a worthy risk, just a 2nd round pick and a few players. Like, that's a great deal. And they desperately needed this size and athleticism that Bagley has a chance of providing that any other player in the league for a 2nd round pick wouldn't, okay? Way better than Bull, guys. And what do you think Bagley's potential high ceiling talent for cheap will look like on his next contract? And I think Bagley has shown enough to get a longer deal in Detroit, okay? And I sure would love to keep him there for, the price is right, okay? And he's looking to be a reclamation project, restore his image and his career, which is what the Pistons tried to do with Josh Jackson. Now, I think Bagley wants some security, so if he signs a lowball deal, they'll help rebuild his value and still be young enough to get a big contract. I think the Pistons will offer him a similar deal to Josh Jackson, which was a 2-year $10 million deal, possibly with a little bit more touch to it. And I think this gives him a chance to grow and maybe get a huge raise. And if some other team wants to offer more in restricted free agent, then good luck to them, as Bagley is the only worthy flyer if he comes in as a low risk, high reward deal, which I agree. And look, there's a chance that somebody goes thereafter, but I think he's just going to accept the qualifying offer or whatever the extension. And I think it'll be between $5 to $7 million. And I think it'd be great for them. So this is what I want to hear. What do you guys think of this? And I think Marvin Bagley III stays in Detroit, and it's this change of scenery that he needs, and he's going to reach his potential and be valuable. And I think he can be a combination of, Paul Millsap, a modern day Paul Millsap with a taller John Collins. I want to hear your thoughts if you guys agree with me on that. Or maybe I'm just talking out my ass. I have a bottle of water here. That's a lot of water. That was a lot of water. I don't even know. I'm actually impressed how much I just slammed that fresh water. That was good though. Good water. I hope you guys have a great day. Until next time.